Never believe the myth that muscles die after 60. The real threat is the secret no one is sharing. Most seniors are missing one natural supplement that turns soft tissue back into solid strength. If that sounds impossible, keep listening, because in the next few seconds, you'll see exactly why doctors ignore it, why gyms overlook it, and how you can use it to lift heavier, walk taller, and shock every younger relative who thinks you're done growing. Imagine picking up your grandchild with the same confidence you had in your 30s. Picture gripping a grocery bag with one hand while unlocking the front door with the other. No tremor, no strain. Muscle growth after 60 is not wishful thinking. It is biology waiting for the right trigger. The trigger is a compound your body already understands. A natural supplement that blends into water and quietly rewrites the rules of aging. By the end of this video, you will know the name, the science, the perfect dose, the cheap way to buy it, and the simple moves that make it work twice as fast. Stick around, because the stories you'll hear are so unexpected. They sound made up until you try it yourself. Grey hair is supposed to be charming, yet nobody ever praises weak legs. Once the calendar turns past 60, most people accept shrinking biceps and a softer midsection as destiny. Doctors use the word sarcopenia, a fancy label that means your muscles are melting. 30% of adults over 60 lose up to 8% of muscle mass every single decade. That loss does more than sabotage beach photos. It slows metabolism, raises blood sugar, weakens bones, stiffens joints, and steals balance. Falls become fractures, and fractures invite hospital beds that feel like jail cells. The sad part? Standard advice stops at lifting light dumbbells and eating chicken. Good tips, but incomplete, without the right biochemical support. Even the purest chicken breast struggles to patch torn fibers. That's because aging muscle cells hold less adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, the molecule that fuels contraction. Lower ATP equals slower recovery, less power, and longer soreness after yard work or exercise. Protein alone can't close that energy gap. Meanwhile, pharmaceutical companies toss prescriptions at strength loss. Yet side effects read like mini horror stories. Insomnia, blood pressure spikes, kidney strain. No wonder cautious seniors throw their hands up, resigning themselves to smaller shirts and larger pill cases. The real challenge is finding a safe, affordable, proven way to refill cellular fuel without wrecking other organs. And that is where the forgotten supplement steps in. Meet the molecule. Enter creatine monohydrate. Yes, the same powder college athletes slam into shakes before weight room selfies. But strip away the macho marketing and you find an amino acid derivative that human livers quietly produce every day. Creatine's job is to reload ATP faster than any other nutrient on record. The more creatine inside muscle fibers, the more rapidly those fibers recycle energy, contract hard, and bounce back from micro-damage. That is true whether you are 19 or 90. But here's the plot twist. Natural creatine production drops about 8% per decade after 40. Dietary creatine hides mostly in red meat and fish, foods many seniors limit for budget or digestion reasons. End result: by 60, a typical body barely meets half the creatine levels found in youth. Proof in the lab. Let's travel to the University of Saskatchewan, where researchers gathered 70 men and women aged 65 to 84. Half received 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily. The rest swallowed a placebo that looked identical. Both groups performed simple resistance exercises 3 times a week. Think sit-to-stands and elastic band rows. After 12 weeks, the placebo group gained 1 pound of lean mass. Respectable. The creatine group gained 4, quadruple the result from a scoop that costs less than a postage stamp. Grip strength rose 13%, leg press power climbed 24%, and the biggest surprise came from brain tests, showing sharper recall after supplementation. Jump to Brazil, where a team tracked postmenopausal women for 1 full year. All participants lifted weights twice weekly. Again, only half used creatine. The control group preserved muscle. The creatine group actually built new fibers, showing a 6% increase in cross-sectional thigh area. Bone mineral density in their hips improved as well, hinting that stronger muscles tug on bones in ways that trigger extra calcium deposits. How it works in plain English. Creatine sits inside muscle cells like a rechargeable battery pack. When ATP donates energy, it becomes spent, called ADP. Creatine donates a phosphate group back to ADP, instantly turning it into fresh ATP. Imagine loaning a friend money the moment his wallet empties so he never stops shopping. During workouts, this rapid recycling lets you push out 1 or 2 extra reps that create slightly deeper microscopic tears. Those tears are the sparks that tell the body to rebuild bigger. After exercise, creatine draws water into muscle cells, creating a state called cell volumization. Cells interpret the additional water pressure as a growth signal, flipping genes that ramp up protein synthesis. All of this happens without hormones, without risky injections, without prescription pads. Safety record: more than 700 peer-reviewed studies affirm creatine's safety in doses up to 20 grams per day for healthy adults. Kidney function remains stable, liver enzymes stay within normal ranges, and the most common complaint is minor water weight, usually 2 to 4 pounds that sit inside the muscle, not under the skin. If you have existing kidney disease, consult your physician. Otherwise, creatine's risk profile looks gentler than daily aspirin. Choosing the right powder. Skip exotic blends that promise extreme pumps. Look for plain creatine monohydrate labeled Crepure or micronized for easier mixing. Avoid fruit punch tubs filled with sugar and dye. You want a white, odorless powder that disappears in water like salt. A 1 kilogram bag, roughly 100 servings, costs about $20 online. Checked bottles at big box stores run $5 to $10 higher, but save waiting time. Dosage strategy. 2 plans exist: loading or slow saturating. Loading means 20 grams per day divided into 4 doses for 1 week, followed by a steady 5 grams daily. Slow saturating means 5 grams daily from day 1. Both reach muscle saturation in roughly 30 days. Loading arrives quicker but may bloat your stomach. Most seniors prefer slow saturating. Mix the powder in warm water or coffee. It dissolves faster, and sip with a protein snack to aid transport into muscle. Timing myth. Internet forums obsess about pre-workout versus post-workout timing. In reality, consistent daily intake matters more than the clock. Creatine works by filling a pool inside muscles, not spiking like caffeine. Choose a time you will not forget. Many seniors stir it into breakfast oatmeal. Others slide it next to nightly medications. Pairing with protein. Creatine supplies energy, but growth still requires building blocks. Most research suggests 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for adults over 60 who exercise. That is roughly 90 grams for a 170-pound person. Split portions between eggs, Greek yogurt, beans and lean meats. Vegetarians can hit numbers using lentils, quinoa, tofu and whey isolate. Yes, whey is dairy, but isolates remove nearly all lactose. Essential workouts. You do not need barbarian routines. Focus on 5 compound moves twice a week. Chair squats, wall push-ups, seated rows, hip bridges, farmer carries. Start with 1 set of 12 reps. Rest a day between sessions. Every 2 weeks, add a set or increase weight by 2 pounds. Think soup cans, graduating to water jugs. Extra reps under creatine influence send a louder growth signal than ordinary workouts without the supplement. Rest and hydration. Creatine pulls water into muscle tissue, meaning you must drink more. Aim for 3 liters of fluid daily, including herbal tea or broth. Sleep at least 7 hours so growth hormone can stitch fibers back together. Consider magnesium glycinate at bedtime to relax cramped calves often reported in new lifters. Success story. Henry, age 72. Henry retired from construction and watched his bench press fade from 135 pounds to the empty bar. Grandkids noticed him grunting when he rose from the couch. He followed the 5-gram regimen, plus short workouts with resistance bands in the garage. At week 6, he benched 95 pounds again. By month 4, he tied his old record. Blood tests showed improved blood sugar control, likely due to more active muscle tissue siphoning glucose. His personal quote, "I feel like someone replaced the batteries in my arms." Success story. Linda, age 67. Linda battled osteoporosis. Her doctor warned about fractures if she fell. She blended creatine into smoothies, joined a community center strength class, and added 2 days of brisk walking. DEXA scans after 1 year showed bone density moving upward for the first time in a decade. Creatine itself didn't build bone, but the stronger leg muscles stimulated bone remodeling every time she walked. She also reported clearer thinking, echoing studies linking creatine to cognitive performance. How creatine helps the brain. Your brain burns ATP faster than any other organ. As neurons fire, they chew through energy reserves, the way a laptop battery drains when running video. Adding creatine to cerebrospinal fluid improves ATP recycling. Just like in muscle, supporting short-term memory and mental processing. Early trials in seniors with mild cognitive impairment reveal modest improvements in word recall compared with placebo. While not a cure for dementia, extra brain energy may delay forgetfulness long enough to keep living independently. Common myths busted. Myth 1. Creatine is a steroid. False. Steroids are synthetic hormones. Creatine is an amino acid derivative found in fish and beef. Myth 2. It wrecks your kidneys. Studies on healthy adults up to 5 years long show no harm at standard doses. Only those with pre-existing kidney disease should avoid or use medical supervision. Myth 3. Women will get bulky. Female hormone profiles limit extreme hypertrophy. Expect firmness and tone, not bodybuilder size. Myth 4. It causes hair loss. A single study on rugby players suggested a small increase in DHT, a hormone tied to male pattern baldness. Subsequent research failed to replicate the rise. No large-scale data links. Creatine to hair shedding in seniors. Stacking supplements. Creatine plays well with vitamin D3 for muscle and bone synergy. Omega-3 fish oil to tame inflammation, letting fibers rebuild instead of swelling. Beta-alanine if you enjoy high-rep cardio circuits because it buffers acid buildup. Caffeine boosts alertness but does not change creatine's mechanism. Take it earlier in the day to avoid insomnia. Picture 2 futures. In the first, you ignore this information. Each year you surrender a little height, lose a little stair strength, and rely on railings. Where handrails never used to matter, trips to the doctor multiply, prescriptions pile up, and the family secretly rearranges furniture to prevent falls. In the second future, you toss a scoop of white powder into juice every morning. Within weeks you have extra energy. Within months you lift heavier. Grocery bags, and by the end of the year, friends comment on the new definition in your arms. You visit the doctor for routine checkups, not emergencies. Lab numbers stay in range, stairs feel like mild hills, and independence extends far past the average life expectancy. The difference between those futures hinges on a nutrient smaller than a teaspoon. This is your fork-in-the-road moment. Muscle growth after 60 is not magic. It is chemistry plus intentional movement. Creatine monohydrate replenishes ATP, allowing muscle fibers to contract harder, heal faster, and signal the body to add new tissue. Science backs its safety, affordability keeps it accessible, and everyday seniors prove its power. Combine 5 grams of quality creatine with steady protein, simple resistance exercises, proper sleep, and water. Give it 12 weeks and watch mirrors, relatives, and blood tests confirm the change. You will lift more, think clearly, and protect your bones, better than any multivitamin alone ever could. Age keeps counting birthdays, but with creatine, your muscles start counting reps again.